about the camera in Octane is a whole nother beast. And there are like tons and tons of options that we could explore, but for the sake of simplicity, we're going to be focusing on the major things that you're going to be needing in your day-to-day routine. And obviously, you're free to experiment on your own, but just for the sake of this chapter, we're going to be only exploring the things that we're going to be needing the most. So, if I come over here and go into my camera view over here, we have the type of camera we have. It can be perspective like we have right now. It can be orthographic or even panoramic. Then we have our focus length, the lens unit, the shift, the clip start and clip end. And this is where the similarities between Octane and Cycles end. Because if we scroll down, it's a whole nother beast. As you can see, it has tons and tons of options. But we're going to be focusing on the things that we're going to be using on a daily basis. So if we scroll down a bit, we have our safe areas. We also have backplate image if we want to use that. But what I personally like to do is come over here towards viewport display and just enhance this. And I just take the passport and put it to 1 so that we get our whole point focused around over here. And just for this example, what I'm going to be doing is I'll put this over here, turn off this, and turn this into the 3D viewport so you guys can see better. And I'll just add in a plane as well. And where is our camera again? The limits that we used to use in cycles, it's still over here. The composition guides. Then we come down towards Octane camera. So we actually have like multiple options over here. We could either use lens or perspective, the one that we're using right now and the one that Cycles uses. We have universal, baking, and OSL. Now, these are completely different things and they revolve around a totally different workflow. So in the practical examples, I'll try to cover them up as much as I can. Then we have our distortion, if we want some distortions over here or not. The pixel aspect, this is basically going to be stretching the image up and down. Then we have our f-stop. Now, if you don't want to go down the route of adjusting your aperture, you could always just click on the f-stop and just treat it like a real camera. Let's say if I put it to 1.8 and I turn off the autofocus and put the focus on this guy over here. And let's say I want it to be more blurrier, I could always decrease it. Let's say 0.01. Yep. Let me just put it back to the default. Then we have the whole depth of field section where we could change the aperture aspect, the aperture edge, the bokeh slide count, the bokeh rotation, and the bokeh roundness. So this is basically going to be used for when we want to add in like custom bokehs, or if we want to enhance the existing bokeh that are coming in towards the camera. So this is going to be explained more in the practical examples. Right now I'm just going all through it. Then we have stereo. So basically this is the sort of render if we want to take out, let's say, an animation or a render which is going to be viewed on a 3D enabled screen with 3D glasses, you could use Octane for this as well. The camera data node, you could also enable this and use it. Then comes the fun part, which is also linked with the camera as well, the post processing. So you could increase the power of the bloom over here, the glare. You could also reduce the count over here of this ray and even increase it. Then we have chromatic aberration over here. We have lens flares. Then we have post processing volume. If you want to add in fogs, let me enable that. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up the camera and the essential settings that you are going to be needing. So with that, that covers all of the tools that you need to know. Now, in the next two videos, we're going to be making the practical examples. So be prepared for that.